We're in session of calls number 329-622. Case is filed, the state of Texas versus Jason Bernard Holmes. That's your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Holmes?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Holmes, you're here represented by your attorney Quentin Booker. Attorney Booker, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And Mr. Daniel Board, how you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Attorney Booker, what is your announcement in Mr. Holmes' case?
Judge, we're not ready for trial at this point, but I've consulted with the state. Just need to receive the final piece of discovery, which I believe is a video. And I believe we'll be ready to discuss the further proceedings at that point.
Okay. Okay, now, how much time do you need for your
Just a
reset?
standard reset, Judge.
January 31st.
Okay, so this case is gonna be reset to January 31st. 2022. Attorney Booker, you get your reset. Once you get your reset from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too, Judge.
And Mr. Holmes, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you can stand over there. You have to sign the, you have to sign.
Oh, you have to sign too.
No, just you.
Just me?
Yeah, sign the pad.
I'll see you outside. Yes, sir. Just right over there. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
We're in session of calls number 328-486. The case is styled of State of Texas versus Rakima Harrison. Ms. Harrison, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
You're doing pretty good? That's good. Now, Ms. Harrison, you're here represented by your attorney John Macy. And Attorney Macy, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor. Thanks
That's
for
good.
asking.
The state is represented by Attorney James Ham. Mr. Ham, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you, Judge.
All right. Now, Mr. Macy, what is your announcement in Ms. Harrison's case?
Your Honor, Ms. Harrison set to, she was supposed to sign up for pretrial diversion on the 2nd of this month, but it was reset to February the 3rd.
Okay. Let's reset this case to the second week in February, get a chance to sign into the BIP program,
Yes, sir. February 14th.
February 14th. Mr. Macy, case is going to be reset to February 14th, 2022. You can sign the reset. Once you sign your reset and give it to your give it to your client, Ms. Harrison. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Macy, is this your only case?
It is. There was another case that's on the docket, but I already got a reset to January the something. It was Mr. Aguilar, Kinnison Aguilar. It's still on your docket, but I already got a reset in the mail.
What, you said Aguilar?
Let me get in contact and I can.
Okay, you should look it up. Just sign over there. Thank you.
Sign for me real quick, and I'll request it, and I'll look it up. And I'll see if I can get it.
It was on the second, it was on one of them, it was on the second one. It's online, anyway.
You looked it up online?
I looked it up online, Judge. Yes. It was on the second group of second link or whatever. There you go.
You see Aguilar?
This is the recent for this year.
But I believe there is one.
February 3rd to sign. what time. Yeah, probably ought to be on there at 8:30. 8:30.
Who said?
I was gonna let you know, on page 2.
We're in session and calls numbers 327-244, calls number 327-530. Both cases are style the state of Texas versus Ronald Joseph Cormier. We have Ronald Joseph Cormier Jr. We have Mr. Cormier present in court. Mr. Cormier, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Cormier, you're represented in your case by Attorney Ryan Gertz, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Gertz, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
I've got my video off because I'm driving to Hardin County for my murder case pretrial this morning, but I'm here and I can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Gertz, Mr. Cormier's case is on the court's pretrial conference plea docket. What is your announcement in Mr. Cormier's case?
Judge, I'd like to ask for one more resetting, keeping it on the pretrial document. I think we're going to be able to work out a settlement without trial in this case, but I don't have it done as of this morning. And I'm sort of in back-to-back trials last week and this week, and haven't had a time to sit down with the DA's office and sort out their best options.
Okay, you want a standard reset?
Yes, please, Judge.
Okay.
January 31st.
Okay, this case will be reset to January 31st of 2022. Mr. Cormier, you can stand over there in front of our court coordinator on the far X. She'll give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a Merry Christmas.
All right, and same to you. Let's see. Mr. Bailiff, would you please get Brian Walker, Justin Sellers, and Alex Stelly?
Judge
All-
Justin Sellers is present online.
Okay, yes,
He's
Junior,
on Zoom.
get those other two. You're gonna get Brian Walker and Alex Stelly. And see if Michael Hall has showed up. For this case is cause number 329426. Case is style of state of Texas versus Justin Ray Sellers. We have Mr. Justin Ray Sellers appearing via Zoom. Mr. Sellers, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking me. Now, Mr. Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Sellers' case?
Judge, we don't have or we have not properly uploaded yet the video in this case. So I'm not prepared to make an announcement. I'd ask for one additional resetting. I think that we were also looking at pretrial diversion, but I'm not 100% certain. But I wanted to see the videos before I make an announcement one way or the other.
Okay, Miss Redmond, give us a date. Yes.
February the 14th.
Okay, that case is going to be reset to February 14th of 2022. Mr. Sellers, stay in contact with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Your attorney will be given notice of the reset. This will also stay in contact with your bondsman. This will conclude your case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You as well. Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you as well. And Mr. Gertz, your reset will be sent to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, your next case is Alex Stelly. This is cause number 329774. Case is style Alec Joel Stelly. Mr. Stelly, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Stelly?
All right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Stelly, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Gertz. Mr. Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Stelly's case?
Judge, later today, I have an announcement in his felony case that is directly tied to this case. And so I think I want to hold on making I have to be back at Jefferson County at 10:45.
Okay,
And I'm trying to get this case resolved, the felony resolved as a misdemeanor, which may resolve this case as well.
okay.
So I want, if I could hold on announcement on this, I may just be asking you for a resetting later in the day, but it's going to depend on what happens in Judge West's court.
Okay, so once y'all go to Judge West's court, y'all gonna come back here. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge. And Mr. Stelly, will you please remind me to do that? Because I've got a crazy day today. So
Okay, so you need to come back here
All right.
after you finish down the hall. So you can, you're excused until you finish down the hall and come back.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Brian Walker and Mr. Bailiff, would you please call Joshua Winslow? Get him in here. Joshua Winslow. Okay. This is cause number 329196. Case is style of state of Texas versus Brian K. Walker or Brian Keith Walker. Mr. Walker, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Walker, how are you doing?
All right.
That's good. Mr. Walker, you're represented here by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Walker's case?
Judge, we're asking for one more setting on an announcement docket here in the new year, please. We've gotten some of the discovery, but have not had a chance to thoroughly enough review it to make an announcement.
February 14th.
Okay, this case will be reset to February 14th of 2022. Mr. Walker, you can stand on the far exit, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. And let's see, Mr. Gertz, your reset will be sent to you in the mail. This is cause
Thank you,
number.
Judge.
Okay, this is cause number 329876. Case of style of state of Texas versus Joshua Slade Winslow. Mr. Winslow, would you please come forward? Your full name is Joshua Slade Winslow. How you doing, Mr. Winslow?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Winslow. You're represented by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, what's your announcement in Mr. Winslow's case?
Judge, the same thing here. I think we just got videos in this case last week. This, I think, is our first appearance on this. So we're going to ask for a normal resetting that February date is fine, if that's acceptable to the court.
Okay, that's gonna be reset to February 14th of 2022. Mr. Winslow, you can stand on the far X and get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. Is Michael Hall here? Mr. Hall, would you come forward? This is cause number 328100. Case of style of state of Texas versus Michael Hall. Mr. Hall, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Hall, you're represented here by your attorney Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, what's your announcement in Mr. Hall's case?
It's the same thing here. We just got in discovery pretty recently. I believe this is our first appearance in this case. We're asking for one resetting to that February date for announcement, if we can, please.
Okay, this case is going to be reset to February 14th of 2022. This case is on page 2 of the pretrial conference docket at the bottom. Okay, Mr. Hall, you're going to stand on the 4X in front of our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. Okay.
Judge, I think that's all I had with you this morning.
Yeah, that's what I was looking on these two dockets to make sure we got all of your cases. I think you're correct. Yes, I don't see it. And so we'll see you after you finish in the 252nd District Court.
Yes, Judge. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
And have a great day as well. Uh-oh. Okay, we did him. Okay.
Macy. Macy.
Philip Fox.
We're ready on this.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm gonna get you the sign, hold on.
You finished?
I signed. Oh, we got some felon. That's why. He was a felon. So we don't leave him. Yes, that's why. And he's a cousin.
We're in session in cause number 328, Mr. Bailey. We're in session in cause number 328174. The case is Solid State of Texas versus Philip James Fouts. Mr. Fouts, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fouts, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Fouts, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fouts, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Fouts?
All right, doing all right?
Yes, I'm doing fine. Mr. Fouts, you were here represented by your attorney James Paget, Attorney Paget, how you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Paget, do you waive a record in Mr. Fouts' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fouts, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about January 22nd of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, this information further alleges that prior to the commission of this offense, that you, Philip James Fouts, on May 23rd of 2014, in the County Court at Law number 3 of Jefferson County, Texas, in clause number 302351, that you were convicted of the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. And that conviction became final prior to the commission of this offense. Is that true or not true? Speak up. True. Now, Mr. Fouts, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Guilty. Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Fouts, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document? And on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Fouts, there are a set of initials, PF, on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? And on the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature? And I have another document here that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Fouts, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Fouts, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
No
objections?
objections to state's number 1, Your Honor.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Paget, you've advised and counsel Mr. Fouts. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Fouts, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Fouts, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The 1 year county jail probated for 1 year. There's no fine. It's gonna be running concurrently with the felony cost number. There's 72 hours jail time up front to begin on January 5th, 2022 by 6 p.m.
January 5th
Okay with the court.
at 6 p.m.?
Yes, Your Honor. And 80 hours community service.
You say 80 hours of community service?
Yes, Your Honor. A Dwi Education Course,
Okay.
drug and alcohol assessment,
Yes.
and ignition interlock. And it will run concurrently with felony cause number, the probation, and that cause number 21-363.
363.
79.
79. Okay. Mr. Faust, the state is offering that you serve 365 days in the Jefferson County Jail, which is 1 year. However, you will not have to serve any time in jail for this 365 days. You'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $422. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month. Now, if you're already on probation in Jefferson County, you will not be required to pay that probation fee because you're already paying a probation fee. You also be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. And you'll be required to pay the Jefferson County Dwi Education Class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should the further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Mr. Faust, do you understand? Well, first of all, Mr. Faust, will you be able, now, with the probation fee in here, it's at $115 per month. And I imagine once they deduct it out, okay, it should be like 165.
And he's also paying a urinalysis fee currently as well.
Right,
He's still
65.
doing
So,
urinalysis.
yeah, okay, so it says 115, they'll
Another $15.
yeah, they'll subtract out, except they subtract $15, that'll be 100, then they subtract 60, it'd be $40. So you're looking at probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $40. Say, yes,
Added to-
per month. Now, would you be able to pay that? Now, Mr. Faust, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. And you will be required to 72 hours is not on here. No, I'm saying, no, I was looking at the judgment. She has to make the change on the judgment. So you'll be required to perform 80 hours of community service, attend the DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And you'll be required to serve 72 hours in the Jefferson County Jail beginning on January 5th of 2022 at or before 6 p.m. And this case will run concurrent with cause number 21-36379. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of probation. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Faust, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Faust, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into the state. Mr. Faust, would you please stand in front of our court clerk, right here on the X, right here, right next to your attorney. And then once you follow her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Let's see. Is Catherine Jefferson here?
She is not here.
Not yet.
Well, not at all. She texted me this morning at about 6:40 a.m. She'd been throwing up all night long. She said she was going to the emergency room. I just contacted her. She's at the emergency room right now. I told her to get me medical records showing that she's there. At first I asked her if she could just get on Zoom, and she told me that she could not raise her head up and could not walk. So I told her, I advised her to go to the emergency room. She just texted me and confirmed that she's there. So as soon as I receive, I've asked her to either email or text me proof that she's at the emergency room. And when she does so, I'll notify the court immediately.
Okay,
I did everything I could to get her on Zoom. I just don't think she was strong enough.
okay. That was,
If you could, Your
yeah,
Honor,
that was,
hold the motion.
Catherine Jefferson.
You could hold.
Okay.
Make a
What
motion.
about, Frederick?
Mr. Hampton
Hampton?
is in jail, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have a 2 o'clock. He also has
Okay.
a case out of the same transaction in the criminal district court. We're set for 2
Okay.
o'clock
Okay, okay,
on jail docket, so I will try to
Okay.
handle that case at 2 o'clock. We just
Okay.
talked about Ms. Jefferson. I'm not sure if you have a motion to forfeit her bond. She's been sick all night. She's at the emergency room. I'm waiting on paperwork to document that. She started texting me earlier this morning. I made the
Is that-
court aware of that.
is that your last case? Yeah,
It is, Your Honor.
okay, so, yeah, get us that information.
As soon
What we
as I-
normally do, we use at the end of the docket, we call our bond forfeiture docket, but we usually don't, process the paperwork until later on, but just get that information and we'll call them, we'll call the docket. And then once you get us that paper, we probably won't go forward.
Yes, Your Honor, like I said, she just texted me back
Okay,
that she couldn't get on Zoom. She's at the ER.
I understand.
And, I made the court aware of it as soon as
Okay.
I got the text.
No
I was
problem.
wondering why she wasn't up there right now.
Which ER is she at? Does she know?
She didn't say.
Wow. Mr. Bailey, would you please get Tyler
I can
Parker?
get you the records.
Tyler Parker on the pretrial conference docket, page 2, at the top.
Those cases are next door in Judge Wilson Court. County Clerk.
We're in session and cause number 326-300. Case is styled, State of Texas versus Tyler Wayne Parker. Mr. Parker, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Parker?
No, right.
That's good, Mr. Parker. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Tom Kelly. Attorney Kelly, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. Kelly, what is your announcement in Mr. Parker's case?
Judge, we've been accepted into the DA's office pretrial diversion program. I think we're going to try to sign in February.
February? Okay.
If the court wouldn't mind setting us to a date after that.
Yeah, we'll set it February 14th.
Right.
He's on page 2 at the top of the pretrial conference docket. Mr. Kelly, you can get your reset. Sign that and get your reset. Once you get your reset, this your only case?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, you'll be free to go.
Okay.
You have a Merry Christmas. And Mr. Tyler, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, my dad approved.
That's Mr. Tyler, that's Mr. Tyler Parker. I call you by your first name.
Oh,
Yes,
Your Honor, I have Lester Lewis on your docket,
Lester Lewis.
which I
On which-
didn't know till my office informed me.
Okay.
It's not in writing here.
Hold on a minute. I saw- Yeah, he's here. Won't you,
Yeah,
would
he
you get
was
Lester
here.
Lewis?
Yeah, he was here. We took care of the felony and I sent him home. The felonies we set to January 18th.
Well, can he get on the phone? Can you get
I
him on
can
the
call him
phone?
on the phone and have him
Okay.
come back up here. in
Oh, you
just a
could-
minute.
He can make an appearance on the phone. If you call him on your phone, we could,
That's too complicated.
oh, it's just a phone call. You just put him on speakerphone and he's here.
I don't want him to know my cell phone.
Oh, well, I understand. Court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 325-330. Second case is cause number 330-070. Both cases are filed the state of Texas versus Lee, is that Von Rich
Yes, Your Honor.
Jones? Von Eric?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Lee Von Eric Jones. Mr. Jones, how you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Jones, in this case, I see here, on your two cases, I see you're supposed to hire, your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Have you hired that attorney?
Yes, sir, Mr. Bruce Smith, but I was incarcerated for like 2 months. I just got out like a week ago, maybe like 10 days ago.
Bruce Smith. But he hasn't filed a letter of representation. If he would have, his name would be on the docket.
Yes, sir.
So he hadn't filed a letter of representation saying that you hired him to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you want Mr. Smith to represent you, Mr. Smith will have to file. I see he's on your one of your cases in criminal district court.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I think David Grove is on another case in criminal district court. That's what the docket sheet says. So you have to hire him to represent you on the felony, on these two misdemeanor cases,
Yes,
okay?
Your Honor.
So what we're gonna do, I see, his case reset to December 27th of 2021? Yeah. So just give him a standard reset. Okay, we're gonna give you a standard reset on your two cases. Stand over here in front of our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and a Merry Christmas. That'll give you time to hire your attorney. All right. What's that date? Okay. Jeffrey Zachary. This is cause number 326-092. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jeffrey Zachary or Jeffrey Dwayne Zachary. Mr. Zachary, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Zachary?
All right.
That's good. Mr. Zachary, see, your case was reset to give you opportunity to hire an attorney as well.
Yeah,
Have-
I talked to him. I don't know if he called up here or did anything.
You say you talked to
Yeah,
him.
I just tried to call.
Did you
him.
hire him?
Yes.
Okay, who are you speaking
Marvin
of?
Lewis.
We don't have his name on our docket sheet indicating that he has filed a letter of
Yeah,
representation.
he had given me the extension on it. I had called him and he said he'd call back up here. Just let him know what date I had to be back up here. I told him 13th for this month.
Okay, so he was supposed to,
He supposed to be here today. That's why I was trying to call him.
okay, do you want to take some time to call him?
I just tried to call him, but I just tried to call him. He didn't answer. So I don't know if he.
Okay, well. What we're gonna do, we're gonna reset your case.
I can call someone. I leave from there.
Okay, we're gonna reset your case. Just have a seat in that chair up in front with the black and yellow tape on it.
Your Honor, may I approach again? Apologize.
Yes, okay.
Apparently, Mr. Lewis doesn't have a phone, but we can leave a message at the house in Houston where he lives, where he's on the way to. So, he'll go there, get the message and come back. So it might be this afternoon before he's back here.
Okay, I mean, you can give him the number to the court. He can, once he gets there, he can call the court and we'll
He
be in
can call the
session.
court. Okay, that was
Yeah.
my next question.
I mean, that'll save at least half the time.
Definitely. Anyway, I'll give him the message and I'll be sure and be at the court's.
Okay, okay. And if he, you could give him the Zoom number as well, if in case he has Zoom available wherever he is.
I don't think he.
Okay,
There was no phone.
okay. we have? So Zachary's gonna be reset to when?
January 31st.
January 31st? Okay. Okay,
On the right on this page.
is, Rosendo Fuentes here? That's, Mr. Wilkerson's case.
Your Honor, I've called his name several times. I've also attempted to call his phone, left a text message, and attempted to contact his sister. This was a case that was set on Friday when I was out with migraine, and it was reset for today.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay, I remember, yeah, he was,
I'm not sure if the court informed him at that time that it was today. I believe the court would have, but I have been unable.
you said that was set, you say Friday?
Yes, Your Honor.
Fuentes, I remember Fuentes. Yeah, Fuentes.
I was out ill.
Yeah, I know, yeah, said attorney was sick. That's what I have on the notes, that she was sick. Do we, well, we had a, yeah.
No, I'm fairly certain the court would have informed.
Yeah, I'm
him
sure
at
we,
the
I'm,
time.
yeah, the coordinator would have told him that if the case was reset till the date.
And I can look and see that he signed the reset.
Okay, yeah,
He wouldn't have signed it, though.
he wouldn't have, he may have.
No, the
But you would have given it.
He was
to
here,
him
but the attorney wasn't
directly,
here.
I
What's
believe.
the case number? Or who is it?
And I didn't have them on my docket. Your Honor.
329636.
This was
You say
printed on
you-
the 10th, and I had to, I added him, I wrote him in.
I had him on the docket.
Reset today.
Yeah,
Reset.
did he sign?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't sign?
We never get the defendant signed.
Okay,
We have an attorney.
But generally, the court judge tells the defendant to get the reset.
Right.
From the coordinator,
But we, I mean, I'm sure.
they probably got it reset, yeah.
but I have been unable to reach him, so
He has a cash loan, so he wouldn't have notification that.
Well, he would have got notice, he was in court,
Right, right.
so they hand delivered it to him.
I just.
Well, they did, I mean, I remember Mr. Fuentes. Yeah, it was, Mel was in there.
I'll continue to try and reach him, Judge.
Okay, we'll give you time to do
Get him
that.
To zoom in.
That's
If
fine.
I could, I've got an 11 a.m. and
You-
2:50.
okay, that's fine.
If I could do.
Yeah,
it
you can
my
do with
other
that.
case, Your
You can
Honor.
do that. You see,
Well, Miss Ventura, I also have on the docket, Judge.
Ventura,
Ivana Ventura.
oh, okay. Ms. Ventura?
And yet the news remains unfortunate.
Okay. We're in session and calls number 330156. Case is style of State of Texas versus Giovanna Del Rosario Ventura. Is that your full name?
Yes.
How you doing, Ms. Ventura?
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Ventura, you're here represented by your attorney William Wilkerson. Mr. Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge.
That's good. Mr. Wilkerson, what is your announcement in Ms. Ventura's case?
Your Honor, Ms. Ventura has also a pending felony.
Yes, January,
And I believe that's been set for January 10th.
right.
So the government and it would probably potentially inure to Ms. Ventura's benefit anyway. if this matter, if the felony matter were disposed of prior to the misdemeanor matter being disposed of. So at the time, we would request a reset.
You want to reset on the same day of the felony or?
Yes, sir, that should be sufficient. I believe, I spoke with Mr. Paget and, I believe it's likely to be, disposed of. Of course, I can't guarantee that, but I will be in this court anyway on that day, Judge.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Ms. Ventura, your felony case will be reset till the same date of your misdemeanor case will be reset to the same date of your felony case of January 10 of 2022. When you come to court on that day, you need to check in here first.
Okay.
Just so with the bailiff, let the bailiff know that you're here. Then you'll go take care of the matter in the criminal, in the 252nd District Court. And once you take care of that matter, then you and your attorney will come back here. Okay, well, Mr. Wilkerson, I see she has two different attorneys. She has one, okay, so you'll come here and then Mr. Wilkerson will inform the court as to what he wants to do with your misdemeanor case on that date, okay? Stand on the X in front of our court coordinator, Mr. Wilkerson. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Ms. Ventura, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go as well. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas.
thank you, Judge. And as soon as I'm able to
Come back.
make a determination with regard to Mr. Fuentes, I
Okay.
will certainly
All right.
inform the court.
Okay, you welcome. Mr. Samuel, who you,
Your Honor, I have Austin Spearman, and he's in custody. He
oh,
has a felony pending. It was set for today. So,
normally, yeah, on when those jail cases, felonies reset, we just, if you want to, if it gets reset on a different date, you like us to reset it on that date?
yes, sir.
Now, normally, if it gets disposed of, we'll contact your office to let you know that, and because we'll usually have the, put him on the jail run for that, if he gets jail time for that review docket that Thursday.
That's fine.
Okay,
But he wasn't in jail last time I knew, but I think he's in.
yeah, he's in jail. I got a note here saying that he's in jail.
Yeah, so I just like to,
That's it? That's your only case?
that's on,
Okay, well, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
thank you, sir, you also.
Okay, we don't see each other before the holidays. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy holiday,
And same to you.
and to your staff.
Mr. Burbank. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call Gary Greer, Charles Marks, Haley Moore? They're all on the pretrial conference docket for Mr. Burbank. Gary Greer?
Yes, sir.
This is cause number 320-845, the case style of state of Texas versus Gary Michael Greer.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Greer, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Greer?
Doing good.
That's good. Mr. Greer, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Tom Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Burbank, what is your announcement in Mr. Greer's case?
Your Honor, last week, Mr. Greer was sent to sign up for the pretrial diversion program in this case. The day before, I was not aware of this, but he was set in another district court.
Oh, so he has another case?
Well,
Oh, that's in, where is that?
This
It's
is
Sabine
a
County.
CPS case.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Huh?
It's visitation, the established visitation.
Okay, okay, so that's a family law, okay.
So he had to be there, and so he missed his pretrial diversion.
Oh, okay, so y'all reset it?
We would like to, if the court would allow us.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you would just have to reset it with the, what's it, probation office or the DA's office or whoever. Okay, and so normally, the next session, I think, is February the 3rd, is that correct?
First Thursday.
It's the first Thursday, it's gonna be February 3rd, so this case is gonna be reset to February 14th,
That'd be fine.
okay? Okay, stand over there, Mr. Burbank, sign the reset for you,
I will, Judge.
for Mr. Greer. Mr. Greer, once you get your reset,
You're gonna send it to me.
yeah, you gotta sign it. Once you get your reset from your attorney, Mr. Greer, you'll be free to go.
Yes, sir.
You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. She's gonna give you a copy of reset. Is Charles Marks here?
No.
Didn't answer, okay. Haley Moore? Okay, the court is in session and calls number 324373. The case is style of State of Texas versus Haley Moore. Ms. Moore, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Moore? That's good. Ms. Moore, you represented here by your attorney, Mr. Tom Burbank. Mr. Burbank, what is your announcement in Ms. Moore's case?
Your Honor, this is still a trial.
Trial.
Do
we have bond conditions in this case? Did you check? Okay, gonna reset it for, put it on trial docket. Give us a trial date,
March 14th.
March 14th of 2022. Does she have bond conditions?
Yes.
She does, okay. Miss Moore, your case has been reset for trial for March 14th of 2022. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. Mr. Burbank, you can sign over there. Mr. Razzo was here earlier.
She said go to your court, but she'll be back after that.
Okay. Paget. Oh, that person is in jail. Yeah, hold on a minute, trying to get to you. Casey Smith, that's where it's store. Or Tuska Samuel, she took care.
If I may. I had another subject down there. I don't know if it's still on. Dante Thomas was, I do want to make sure that he was off your schedule. I had him originally set for today.
Dante Thomas?
Common spelling, D-O-N-T-R-E. Common spelling.
Thomas. Thomas is the last name.
Yeah. Last week, he signed up for pretrial diversion on the DWI.
Yeah, I don't have a Dante Thomas.
He was set for an announcement today, but that may be subject to him signing up. He's actually signed up for the trial diversion program last week.
If you say he already signed up?
Yeah, he did last week, but
Oh, that case probably was dismissed. Yeah.
I don't know if it was or not, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't.
Dante Thomas?
It was dismissed on December 6th.
Oh, I'm good.
Pretrial diversion.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough.
Okay.
I'd be excused.
Yes.
And Mr. Marks, I did hear from Mr. Marks. Mr. Marks is in Houston. He takes a bus back and forth. Public
That was supposed to
transit.
be a JP reduction too.
It was, I was court appointed,
Right.
and so I don't know where.
We'll see if he shows up. If he
If it
doesn't
shows
show
up, if somebody will, I'll get on
We'll,
Zoom or do whatever.
yeah, we'll contact your office. Okay. Mr. Johns? You have, what's your case?
Mr. Granger.
Granger?
Yes, sir.
Hold on a minute, Granger.
He put the wrong file. We'll be found today. He's on the dock, he's 6 or 13.
Mr. Bailiff, would you please call Frederick Anthony Granger? We're in session and calls number 329-466. Case is styled State of Texas versus Frederick Anthony Granger. Mr. Granger, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Granger?
Good.
That's good, Mr. Granger. You're here represented by Attorney Theodore Johns Jr. Mr. Johns, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
That's good. Mr. Johns, what is your announcement in Mr. Granger's
This,
case?
this is where we are with this case. I just got a new offer in the case from the district attorney, which he emailed to me. I hadn't really discussed any details with the client. We still are in trying to get the pretrial diversion program, and I haven't heard, I've written 2 or 3 times to Mr. Canal. I haven't heard back from him. With your
Okay.
permission, sir, what I would like to do, because I want to move this case, if we could set it for, say, a plea on February, that pretrial diversion date.
The pretrial diversion.
It was
Oh.
showing that it was denied on October 4th.
Oh, it was?
But I sent a new memorandum.
Oh, he
Under
sent
Pat, Mr. Canal's suggestion, I wrote a memorandum to him. Okay, and also as witnesses contact, that he hadn't gotten back in touch with me. about
Okay,
that
what we're gonna
memorandum.
do, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reset it to February 14th because that's after the pretrial diversion date, and if he gets in,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So what we're gonna do is reset it to February 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Granger, your case is being reset to February 14th of 2022, so that your attorney can hear back from a pretrial diversion program with the DA's office. You can stand over there on the 4X. Your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. And Mr. Jones, I think this is your only case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day and Merry Christmas.
Hope to see you before Christmas, sir.
Is Mr. Cobb is on. Could you please get Gerald Bryant? Yes. Mr. Cobb, it's your case? Gerald Bryant. Mr. Cobb, your case is next. Gerald Bryant, cause number 329-880. We're trying to get your attorney, Mr. Bryant, you can come on up. We're trying to get your attorney, Mr. Cobb. He's on Zoom, but he may be having some difficulty taking his mic off of mute. Okay, so just have a seat in one of the chairs with the yellow and black tape. And if he takes his mic, when he takes his mic off of mute, we'll be able to get you back. Okay?
Yes.
In session and calls numbers 326-980, 327-240. Both cases of Style of State of Texas versus Taurus Marquise Marquay
Yes, sir.
Gidry.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Gidry?
All right.
Mr. Gidry, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, how are you doing? Good morning. What is your announcement in Mr. Gidry's cases?
Your Honor, can I have a minute to talk to Mr.?
Okay, that's fine. We'll hold.
Thank you.
Y'all can have a seat. We're trying to get Mr. Cobb, are you available for your case? Okay, the court is in session and calls number 329-880. The case is Style of State of Texas versus Gerald Wayne Bryant. Mr. Bryant, how are you doing?
Doing good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Bryant, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Bruce Cobb. Mr. Cobb is appearing via telephone. He's having some problems with Zoom. Mr. Cobb, how are you doing?
Doing okay, Your Honor.
Okay, Miss, yes, we can hear you. Mr. Cobb, what is your announcement in Mr. Bryant's case?
My announcement right now, I'm gonna try to put him on the DWI diversion program, and, I just need to get a reset for that.
Okay, we're gonna reset it February 14th. Okay, this case is gonna be reset to February 14th of 2022. See if, give you an opportunity to see if you can get your client in the pretrial diversion. Mr. Bryant, you can stand on the 4X in front of our court coordinator. Once you, she's gonna give you your reset. Once you get your reset from her, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. Stand on the 4X. And Mr. Cobb, your reset will be sent to you. You're free to go, and Merry Christmas to you as well.
You too, if I don't see you again, hopefully we'll see each other, next week.
Oh,
You too.
okay, you're welcome. Mr. Vasquez is not back. Okay, we're in session and calls number 323-126, case of style of state of Texas versus Lester J. Lewis. Mr. Lewis, how are you doing?
Doing
Okay,
okay.
Mr. Lewis, I see here that you have a felony case that you had today. And on that case, you're represented by Attorney James Macon. On this case, you're representing yourself, is that correct? Okay, now, do we have, could you check his file to see if we have, he did a waiver? Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure that you had the paperwork showing that you was representing yourself. Now, Mr. Lewis, what happened in your felony case? Did they reset that case? Okay, do you have that reset date? Did they give you a reset date? January 18th. Now, we're gonna reset this misdemeanor case on the same date of your felony case, January 18th. Okay? So you're gonna stand on the 4X, you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day and Merry Christmas. All right, the 4X, all right. And stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Well, stay in contact, in this case, with your bondsman. Because the bondsman will give you a court date and get your case. Now, you're aware that on that day, you have to appear here first, check in with the bed, like you did this morning. Go take care of your felony, then comes back down here. All right? All right, we'll see you later. Yeah. The court is in session at cause number 328-826. The case is style of State of Texas versus Eloy Hernandez Jr. We have Mr. Eloy Hernandez appearing via Zoom. Mr. Hernandez, how are you doing?
Good, Judge.
Okay, now, Mr. Hernandez, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Dustin Galmore. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, Judge. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Hernandez's case?
Your Honor, I believe we're gonna have this case resolved, so what I ask the court to do is put it on the plea docket,
Okay,
and he'll be here first next time, and hopefully we can resolve it.
give date, January 31st. Mr. Hernandez, your case is going to be reset for plea on January 31st of 2022. Mr. Hernandez, your attorney, Mr. Galmore, will be given a copy of your reset. You're free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome. Thanks for being patient with us. Mr. Galmore, you can get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and Merry Christmas, Galmore. Okay. Next case is cause number 325622, State of Texas versus Andy Lacayo DeCario. Yes, Mr. DeCario is appearing via Zoom. Mr. DeCario, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, sir. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. DeCario, you're here represented by attorney Joe Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, John. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Vasquez, what is your announcement in Mr. DeCario's case?
Judge, until February 3rd.
February 3rd?
Yes, sir. Mr. Barrow set to sign the pre-trial.
Okay, well, we'll reset it to February 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so your case, Mr. DeCario, is going to be reset to until February 14th, 2022, to give you opportunity to sign sign up for pre-trial diversion on February 3rd of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay. Yeah, Mr. Bailiff, would you please call Travis Cannon? Mr. Vasquez, that's your other case, Travis Cannon?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cam is in the fifth program.
Okay, this is cause number 326646. Case of style of State of Texas versus Travis Cannon. Excuse me. Yeah, Mr. Cannon. Is that your full name?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Cannon? That's good, Mr. Cannon. You're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Joe Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez, what is your announcement in Mr. Cannon's case?
Judge, Mr. Cannon has told me he's wrapped up everything he needed to do in the fifth program.
Oh, could you check on that? We'll have the DA's office to check into it. Just, okay, we'll hold, just have a seat. You're welcome.
Call number again?
We're in session in calls numbers 326-980 and calls number 327-240. Both cases are styled as state of Texas. You got the paperwork. Okay, the court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 326-980. Second case is cause number 327-240. Both cases are styled as state of Texas versus Torres Marquez Guidry. Mr. Guidry, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Guidry, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guidry, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Guidry?
All right.
That's good. Mr. Guidry, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, how you doing?
Morning.
Good morning. Mr. Matuska, do you waive a record in Mr. Guidry's cases?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Guidry, in cause number 326-980, I have before me the information that alleges that on or about April 2nd of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Guidry, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, oh, yeah. I don't see that other one up here. Let me strike that. Mr. Guidry, I have before me cause number 327-240. Yeah, two.
The other one's gonna be dismissed. in
Okay.
consideration.
Okay. I get it. Okay, Mr. Guidry, I have before me an information in cause number 327-240. And in this case, Mr. Guidry, it alleges that on or about April 2nd of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Guidry, do you understand what you've been charged with? Mr. Guidry, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Mhm.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Well, I'm not guilty, but
Well,
there was a.
well, I'm not gonna follow this plea bargain. You said it's not guilty. Okay, so wait on it, maybe reset it.
Oh, no. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm going with.
Too late.
No.
You already said you're not guilty.
No.
Right, okay, just Mr. Guidry, you can talk to